Welcome back to another Jays Tonight live stream. Today, we are going to be recapping the first 6 games of spring training for the Blue Jays. I am joined, of course, by my co-host. We're both co-hosts, but I'm joined by Ryan as always. And we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Jays' first 6 games of spring training. So, I'm going to put it over to this screen so you guys can see what's on my screen. I'm going to just do these recaps. I'm going to do the first 4 games, and then Ryan's going to do the last 3, and then we're going to talk about any story that comes up with the Blue Jays, like KIKUCHI, like Addison Barger, like Vladdy Guerrero, the 3 players that you guys saw. And at the end, we'll have time to answer some of your questions if you decide to ask them. So I highly encourage you ask your questions in the chat. I'd love to have a conversation with some of you Blue Jays fans, as Ryan would as well. So let's get started with the Blue Jays' first 4 games. Now, they started out in Pittsburgh. Well, they started off against the Pirates, and they won 9-7, as you can see on the screen. I'm going to pull up the box score here because I forget most of the stats from the game. But as you can see, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit a home run that game. Same did Santiago Espinal. And Addison Barger also went yard in this game, if I can find it. Before I find that, KIKUCHI, 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Great outing for him. I'm on the Pirates one right now. Okay. So yeah, Addison Barger, he did have a good line. He had a hit, he had an RBI, he had that home run that was just super far to right field. Very pretty swing. I'm going to go to the summary so that I can recap the game. So in the top of the 3rd, Otto Lopez triples. Now, they say that he tripled. I really think it was an error on the right fielder. I think it was Connor Joe. Yep, that's his name right there. And that allowed him to get the 3rd. So he had a line drive to right field. Joe misplayed it. Lopez gets the 3rd, and we have a 1-0 lead after the sac fly, I think, from Nathan Lukes. So in the bottom of the 3rd, Pittsburgh comes back. They get 3 straight walks against Zach Thompson, and Rodolfo Castro hits a grand slam to center field, and the Pirates lead the Blue Jays 4-1. Not to worry though, because in the top of the 4th, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. homered, Addison Barger homered, and the game is tied. Top of the 5th, Espinal goes deep, 2-run shot. We're up 6-4. Pirates make it 6-5, but then right back at top of the 7th, Cam Eaton singles, and then we just start another rally. So we end that inning with an 8-5 lead. And then Pirates get a couple more runs. Not to worry though, because at the end of the game we win 9-7. So a couple highlights from that game: Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit a 2-run home run. Santiago Espinal also hit a 2-run home run, and Addison Barger got his first home run of spring. The guy looks jacked. I think he could crack the roster in the middle of the season, but the thing is, I am pretty skeptical about it because we already have Matt Chapman at 3rd, but I think you could see him on the big league roster later on, especially in the following seasons, just because of Matt Chapman's pending free agency, and we all know that Scott Boras is not going to let him stay in Toronto. So, yeah, that is the recap from the first one. I should also mention that KIKUCHI, as I mentioned before, 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, no walks. I'll bring up the box right here. And as we can see, if I go to Blue Jays, KIKUCHI on screen right here. 2 innings, 1 hit, no walks, 5 strikeouts for KIKUCHI. So he just recently had a start. I'm sure Ryan will recap that in his discussion. Zach Thompson did not pitch well. The rest of the pitchers did okay, but Thompson did have a good outing the other day. I think it was in Sarasota against the Orioles, but he did not have a good outing. That's okay. That's the first game. He'll get better. So we'll move on to the second game, which was on the 26th against the Yankees, if I can find it right here. So the Yankees, this was kind of an embarrassment because the Yankees, as you can see right here, they had a split squad game, and they went 2-0 today, and that's because their home game had all of their starters, and their road game, which was against us, granted they did have Anthony Volpe and Josh Donaldson, we still got destroyed for most of the game. 9-5, it was, 6-0 at one point until we got the 5 runs on the Guerrero home run and the LJ Talley home run. Those are the kind of those were the standout performances. I forget who was on the mound for us. I shall check that. It was Tim Mesa. Yeah, Tim Mesa was the opener. He said after the game that he didn't really like it. Romano pitched next, and then it was Pearson for an inning. So Romano didn't give up any runs. Pearson gave up a couple. Luke Bard had a terrible outing. He gave up 3 runs, and it wasn't our best game. The offense was a little off and on. I mean, the only inning we scored in was the 5th inning with the Talley and Guerrero home runs, and that was it that game. I mean, it was just Yankees. Anthony Volpe showed why he is a top prospect, and he just kept the Blue Jays silent. The Yankees pitching, minor league pitching for basically most of the game, kept us silent against a lineup where we should be hitting those pitching. So, that was kind of an embarrassment, but we move on to the game in Atlanta, which is another terrible one, but it's worth recapping because it was part of the first 6 games. So, keep on. It's always, it was on ours. So, Hutchison started this game, 2 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 strikeout. He's at best minor league pitcher. He's not going to crack the opening day roster. If he does, it'll be due to injury or because Ross is sleeping again. Just some stuff worth mentioning. Espinal got a couple hits. Spencer Horwitz got 2 hits. I think, who's the guy from Oakville that got his first hit? I know, let's see. Was it the Brown guy? I feel like if I see his first name, I'll know. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Desan Brown got a hit in this one, his first spring training at bat. He's from Oakville, so that's interesting. So that is the 7-0 loss to the Braves. I should mention that the Braves had their pretty much full lineup. They had Acuna, Olsen, Riley, Murphy, which they got from the A's, Michael Harris, Ozzy Albies, guys like that, Arcia, Rosario, just some guys that they're going to start opening day. So it was a powerful Braves team against a minor league heavy Blue Jays team. And we knew we were going to lose that game, especially up against Max Fried. I see some of you guys commenting. Make sure to get your questions in for the end of the video. We will answer all of them at the end. No question will be missed unless it's some off-topic one to the point where we cannot answer it because we cannot say that on YouTube. So we'll move on to game number 1 of the split squad that happened on the 28th on Tuesday. Now, this was a loss to the Phillies. I didn't do complete recaps of the last 2 games, but I'll do them from now on. I am going to do the Phillies one and then the Tigers one, and then I'm going to hand it over to Ryan to do the one in Sarasota and the one that just finished today. So we start off in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rojas strikes out. Zach Britton actually triples. And the Blue Jays it looks like they had a 1-0 lead. It's not telling me. But move on. No, it was 1-0 Phillies. Now it's 2-0 Phillies. We did get a run. Zach Britton with a home run. That's interesting. Sebastian Espino homers. So 2 homers for the Jays. They got their only 2 runs off of those. Final score was 7-2. Philadelphia. I think their stadium's in Clearwater. But we move on to the game against the Tigers. Now, this was the game that most fans were watching because it was on Sportsnet. And this saw guys like George Springer make his debut. Bo Bichette was in the lineup. Guerrero, Chapman, Biggio, Jansen. Kevin Kiermaier was in the lineup that day as well. Santiago Espinal. And then Cam Eaton rounding it out. So we saw guys like George Springer get his first hit, Bichette got a hit, Kevin Kiermaier got an RBI, and it was just a good game. I believe Ricky Tiedemann pitched in this game as well. He got a solid inning. So yeah, Ricky Tiedemann inning, 2 strikeouts, clean work from him, no hits. So, good game all around for the Jays. I will go into the summary and recap it. So, bottom of the second, Kevin Kiermaier doubles, brought in by Espinal, and then Espinal singles again. Blue Jays now find themselves up 4-1. Stevie Berman homers again to give the Blue Jays a 6-1 lead. And then the Tigers would get 3 in the top of the 8th to make it 6-4. And that was the game as far as I know. Yep, I'm going to look at the box again. Who pitched in this one? So we had... I'm looking at the Tigers. Yeah, Chris Bassett on the mound. He did give up a run, not too bad. Garcia pitched, Swanson pitched, Bass pitched, Tiedemann pitched, and those are, Paul Fry pitched, Jay Jackson, and yeah, that was just an overall good win. Bottom of the 8th could see a little bit of a cleanup, but So, yeah, no. It's worth mentioning that the 3 runs that Paul Fry gave up in the 8th were unearned. So, I want to look at the fielding. It looks like De Los Santos had a throwing error, which may have led... Yeah, because it only said the Jays had 1 error, so it might have been him. Might have been with 2 outs, and then the Tigers got going. So that's it for my recaps, and I will pass it over to Ryan for the rest.
Against the Orioles, which was yesterday. In the top of the 4th inning, Rob Brandley had a double to deep right field. Leo Jimenez scored. In the top of the 8th inning, Phil Clark had a homer. And then in the bottom of the 9th, the Orioles, Heston Kjerstad, he hit a single, and Lewin Diaz scored. Fielding error by Will Robertson. In this game, obviously, like I said, Kikuchi, another really good start. 2 strikeouts in 2 innings, 1 walk, great overall. Zach Thompson actually got the win. 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. Thornton win an inning, clean. Julian Fernandez win an inning, and had 3 strikeouts. Matt Peacock won an inning clean. Adrian Hernandez won an inning clean. And then Hayden Junger got the save. He did allow 2 hits, but no damage allowed. So, yeah, that was the game against Baltimore. And worth mentioning that Vinny Capra got 2 hits, so that's pretty cool. Leo Jimenez got a hit. Biggio got 2 hits. Lopez got a hit. Talley got a hit. So yeah, I mean, guys, minor league guys getting hits and at bats is really crucial for their development, and it's very good. Now on to today's game against the Pirates, which was 2-2. It was a tie.
Yep.
In the bottom of the first inning, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. scored. Chapman, what happened is there was a balk, and the guy got home. So the Jays, it was tied 1-1, and then 2-1. Bo singled to left center field. Kevin Kiermaier scored, and then top of the sixth inning, Ryan VLADDY reaches on an error, fielding error by Chapman. So 2-2 game. Overall, some really good stuff though, such as Bo getting a hit, Lopez got a hit. Varsho guy's first hit as a J, so that's beautiful to see. Spencer Horwitz got a hit. Kevin Kiermaier got 2 hits actually, so that was very nice to see. And then for the pitching, Alek Manoah went 1.5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Pearson went an inning, had 1 strikeout, 1 hit, and 1 walk. Romano went a clean inning. Meza went an inning, struck out 2. Pop went an inning. It was not an earned run, but he gave up a run and gave up a hit. Junior Fernandez went an inning, had a strikeout. Luke Bard went an inning, had a strikeout. And Hagen Danner went an inning, had a strikeout. So overall, some great things to see. And obviously the minor league players getting at bats is a really good thing to see. So yeah, overall, me and Sam, I would say we're pretty impressed with how the spring training is going for the Jays. And yeah.
Yeah, no, pretty good. We do have a question here from Liam, and he says, who or what do you think the opening day bullpen will look like for the Blue Jays?
Okay, so Romano, we both got as closer, but that's
Yes,
pretty damn
that's an
obvious.
obvious, yes.
Setup men can either be
Oh, I just gave away that.
Swanson, Bass Swanson, um, Garcia,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, could see Kikuchi or White out there for long work. Pearson might be in there. Chad
maybe
Green will
Zuleta,
be in there when he comes back. But
Zuleta
yeah,
maybe.
that you're talking about opening day. So I mean,
Yeah,
Romano
possible
closer, Bass, Garcia, and Swanson can be used as like
setup.
setups. Simber's great in the sixth inning and stuff.
Hayes is also good in the.
Maze is a good lefty when he's on. That's
Yeah.
really all I got. Like I said, Nate Pearson probably finds himself in to the bullpen, either
Yeah.
in a fifth inning spot or just to relieve tired arms. But yeah, that's basically how the bullpen is, in my opinion.
I could also see Junior or Julian Fernandez, possibly one of them making the team. Probably Junior. Julian, obviously, he needs to get his control underhand. So once Julian gets his control underhand, he'll probably get a shot. But they'll probably start him in AAA. But maybe Junior because he had a very solid year last year, obviously in limited innings.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree with
Um,
what you're saying because you know we could see a world where some of these guys are going to get hurt, and you know when that happens, you need guys to fill the holes.
for
So
sure. Exactly.
I hope for the best for all these guys, and yeah, hopefully they can come in if they are needed and be good in our bullpen because we're gonna need it.
For sure.
But any more questions? I know we answered Liam's. Um, I will say hello to some more people that have came into the live chat. So we have Frost Memes. How's it going? He said, Sam, how's it going? And then obviously, how's it going, Liam? With the question, Liam, thank you for that question. I appreciate it. I'm sure Ryan does as well. That's gonna
Yes, sir.
conclude the Q&A. I don't know if you want to send us out with a nice outro here.
Yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Jay's Tonight. It was great having you all in. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications.